All right, so it sounds like you've been doing some soul searching about your relationship and turned to YouTube for guidance.
Yeah.
You sent us the Psych2Go video, 7 signs you may be with the wrong person.
Oh, interesting.
It definitely brings up some thought-provoking points. Ready to unpack this together.
Let's dive in. I think it's fantastic that you're taking the time for self-reflection.
Yeah.
Remember, these signs aren't meant to be a rigid checklist,
Right.
but rather conversation starters to help you understand your relationship dynamics better.
Exactly. It's all about gaining some insights, not jumping to conclusions.
Right.
The video starts off strong,
Okay.
suggesting that feeling constantly unhappy in your relationship could be a red flag.
Okay.
They even claim that loving relationships are supposed to be some of the most enjoyable parts of life. But is that always realistic?
Well,
Doesn't every relationship have its share of challenges and rough patches?
that's a really important point. Relationships naturally ebb and flow, and encountering bumps along the way is inevitable.
Yeah.
However, the video isn't necessarily saying that every moment should be pure bliss.
Right.
What's crucial is recognizing the difference between normal relationship, ups and downs, and persistent unhappiness.
Okay.
Think about a roller coaster.
Okay.
There are thrilling highs and some stomach-dropping lows.
Yeah, for sure.
But overall, you're choosing to be on the ride and enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
If all you feel is constant anxiety and dread, maybe it's time to reconsider if this is the right roller coaster for you.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you at all?
That's a great analogy.
Good.
And speaking of roller coasters, the video then dives into stress, suggesting that constantly worrying about your relationship can be a sign of trouble.
Okay.
But how do you know when it crosses the line from those typical relationship jitters to something more serious?
That's where paying attention to the intensity and frequency of your worries comes into play.
Okay.
It's like a simmering pot. Occasional bubbles are normal.
Right.
But if it's constantly boiling over, you might have a problem.
Okay.
Ask yourself, is the stress stemming from external factors, or is it rooted in the dynamics of the relationship itself?
I see.
Are you feeling supported and secure, or are you walking on eggshells?
Right.
It's about identifying whether the relationship is contributing to your overall well-being or chipping away at it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the presence of stress, but also about its source.
Exactly.
And whether it's overshadowing the positive aspects of the relationship.
Right.
Now, the video then shifts gears and tackles the tricky topic of expectations.
Yeah.
Always a fun one.
Right. It gets complicated.
Oh, yeah.
The video highlights the importance of being mindful of the gap between your initial expectations of a partner and the reality of who they are.
I see.
And it's not just about accepting flaws.
Right.
Research actually suggests that couples naturally adjust their expectations over time as they move beyond that initial idealized image of their partner.
So it's like we all start with this fairy tale vision in our heads.
Yeah.
But then we have to confront the realities of being in a relationship with a real complex human being.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's where things get interesting.
Right.
How much compromise is too much?
Yeah.
The video encourages us to distinguish between those fatal flaws, the deal breakers that fundamentally clash with your values, versus the negotiable differences that can be addressed through communication and growth.
So 2 different categories.
Yeah, think about it this way. A fatal flaw would be like finding out your partner doesn't believe in vaccination while you're a pediatrician.
Yeah, big difference.
A negotiable difference might be their tendency to leave dirty dishes in the sink. One is deeply rooted in values, while the other can be addressed through open communication and compromise.
Right.
What do you think? Are the issues you're facing more like deal breakers?
Yeah.
Or things that could potentially be worked through?
That's a really helpful framework for analyzing those relationship sticking points. And it actually segues perfectly into the next point from the video.
Okay.
Those early warning signs we sometimes choose to ignore, especially in the blissful honeymoon phase.
It's like we put on rose-colored glasses at the beginning and every quirk seems adorable.
Right.
Research even shows that people tend to overlook serious personality flaws during those initial stages of courtship.
Interesting.
But those issues don't just vanish, do they?
Definitely not. They might be lurking beneath the surface, waiting for the honeymoon phase to fade.
Exactly.
Have you ever experienced that, noticing issues that weren't so apparent at the beginning?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Did you maybe brush them off as no big deal back then?
It's so common.
Yeah.
But as the initial excitement settles, it's crucial to revisit those early impressions.
Okay.
Ask yourself, have any of those seemingly minor quirks evolved into more significant problems?
That makes sense.
Maybe those late-night video game marathons that were once endearing now feel like a major obstacle to quality time together.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's about acknowledging that our perceptions can shift as the relationship evolves.
Oh, okay. So we've talked about unhappiness, stress, unmet expectations, and those sneaky red flags. Now, the video takes a bit of a mystical turn and tells us to simply listen to our gut. But what does that even feel like?
That's such a great question.
Yeah.
Intuition is a powerful force, and it often speaks to us in whispers rather than shouts.
Okay.
It might be a nagging feeling of unease, a sense of disconnect between your logical mind and your heart, or a persistent doubt that lingers despite reassurances.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Yeah.
Your conscious mind might be focused on all the reasons why the relationship should work.
Right.
But your intuition is picking up on subtle cues, body language, energy shifts, inconsistent behaviors that don't quite align with the words.
So it's not about making impulsive decisions based solely on gut feelings.
Exactly.
But rather recognizing those feelings as valuable pieces of information, right?
Intuition is one data point among many, but it shouldn't be ignored.
Okay.
It's often our subconscious mind trying to tell us something important.
Interesting.
For example, imagine your partner consistently promises to make more time for you.
Okay.
But their actions don't match their words.
Right.
Your logical mind might focus on the promises.
Yeah.
But your intuition might pick up on the pattern of unmet expectations, prompting you to question the sincerity of their commitment.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like our intuition is a built-in radar system.
Right.
Constantly scanning the environment for potential threats or inconsistencies.
Precisely. Now, let's move on to the next sign. The video explores the role of personality traits in relationship satisfaction. They specifically highlight conscientiousness, suggesting that lower levels of this trait, which essentially translates to being less organized and responsible, can lead to dissatisfaction.
So maybe being a bit messy isn't as charming as some rom-coms make it seem.
That's what the research suggests.
Wow.
And it's not just conscientiousness. The video also mentions high neuroticism and low agreeableness as potential red flags.
Sounds like a recipe for a relationship chaos.
Well, it's important to remember that personality traits exist on a spectrum. Having one of these traits doesn't automatically doom a relationship.
Right.
However, if you're someone who thrives on order and your partner thrives on spontaneity, that fundamental difference could lead to friction over time.
That's true.
It's about recognizing potential areas of incompatibility and proactively addressing them.
Okay.
For example, instead of constantly nagging your less conscientious partner to tidy up, you could establish clear boundaries and designate specific areas for organization while allowing them the freedom to embrace their less structured nature in other aspects of their life.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's about finding ways to accommodate those differences without sacrificing your own needs.
Exactly.
And speaking of differences, the video throws us a curveball by suggesting that being too similar can also be a problem.
That's right. You'd think having tons in common would be a recipe for relationship success.
Right.
But the similarity paradox suggests otherwise.
Wait, really? I always thought opposites attract was just a cheesy saying. Are they saying that having too much in common can actually lead to dissatisfaction? I'm intrigued.
It's fascinating, right? While shared interests and values are important, a degree of difference can create a dynamic tension that keeps things interesting.
I see.
Think of it like two puzzle pieces.
Okay.
If they're exactly the same, they fit perfectly.
Yeah.
But the image might feel a little flat and predictable. If they have complementary shapes and colors, they create a more vibrant and multifaceted picture.
That's a perfect analogy.
Good.
So too much similarity can lead to stagnation and boredom.
Exactly.
It makes sense now that I think about it.
And research backs this up.
Oh, wow.
Studies have shown that over time, couples with very similar personalities tend to experience a decline in relationship satisfaction.
That's interesting.
It's like they hit a plateau.
Yeah.
Because there's less opportunity for growth and discovery within the relationship.
So finding that sweet spot between shared interests and unique perspectives is key. And I guess that also ties back to the importance of communication and compromise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, the last point the video emphasizes is about trusting your judgment.
Okay.
They remind us that only you can truly decide what's right for your relationship.
Right.
We're just here to offer some food for thought and help you navigate those complexities.
And I think we've covered a lot of ground.
It has.
We've gone from those initial red flags to the subtle whispers of intuition and even the surprising downsides of being too similar.
Exactly.
It's been quite a journey.
And remember, self-awareness is key.
Yeah.
Take the time to reflect on these signs. Honestly assess your own feelings and trust your instincts.
Absolutely.
Good.
But before we wrap up, I have one final question for you, inspired by everything we've discussed today.
I'm all ears.
The video focuses on signs you might be with the wrong person, but what are some signs that you might be with the right one? Something to ponder as we continue this deep dive.
That's such a powerful question to consider.
Yeah.
I think one of the most telling signs is when you feel a deep sense of respect and mutual admiration for your partner.
Okay.
It goes beyond just agreeing with their opinions.
Right.
It's about valuing them for who they are at their core.
Respect is huge. Yeah. And you're right. It's not just about respecting their opinions, but respecting their dreams, their goals, their boundaries.
Exactly.
It's like this underlying foundation of acknowledging their worth as an individual.
Exactly. And alongside respect, feeling genuine admiration for your partner is also a fantastic sign.
Okay.
It means you see their strengths, you appreciate their quirks, and you even find those little imperfections endearing.
Right.
It's about embracing the whole package.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And when you have that kind of respect and admiration, it creates a sense of safety and support within the relationship, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
It's like you can finally exhale and be your true, authentic self without fear of judgment.
Feeling safe and supported is crucial.
Right.
It allows you to be vulnerable, to share your deepest fears and insecurities, knowing that your partner will meet you with empathy and understanding.
Okay.
It's like having a secure base from which you can explore the world and take risks, knowing that someone has your back.
That sense of security is so essential.
It is.
And I think that it goes hand in hand with trust. When you can truly trust your partner, it deepens the connection and creates a solid foundation for weathering any storm.
Couldn't agree more.
Right.
Trust is the bedrock of any healthy relationship.
Yeah.
When you have that unshakable trust, you can communicate openly and honestly, knowing that your words will be received with kindness and respect.
Okay.
Even when you disagree.
Yeah.
You can share your deepest thoughts and feelings, knowing that you won't be judged or ridiculed.
Speaking of communication, I think that's another major indicator of being with the right person.
Yes.
When you can navigate those difficult conversations, express your needs clearly, and work together to find solutions without resorting to defensiveness or blame.
Exactly.
That speaks volumes about the strength of the relationship.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
It's about being able to truly listen to your partner, to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree with it.
Okay.
And to express your own thoughts and feelings in a way that fosters connection rather than conflict.
It's about creating a safe space for open dialogue.
Yes.
Where both partners feel heard and understood.
Right.
Now, beyond communication, I think sharing similar values and goals also plays a significant role in long-term compatibility.
Absolutely.
When you're on the same page about the big things in life.
Yeah.
Family, career aspirations, lifestyle choices. It creates a sense of alignment and shared purpose.
Having a shared vision for the future creates a sense of unity and direction.
Right.
It doesn't mean you have to agree on every little detail.
Right, of course.
But having those fundamental values in sync can make navigating life's journey much smoother.
Okay.
For example, if one partner prioritizes financial stability above all else, while the other values adventure and spontaneity.
Yeah, I see that.
That could lead to clashes down the line when it comes to making major decisions like buying a house or starting a family.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's about ensuring those core values align to avoid potential conflicts in the future.
Exactly.
But let's not forget about the importance of having fun together.
Oh, absolutely.
When you can laugh together,
Yeah.
be silly, and genuinely enjoy each other's company,
Right.
that's a powerful sign of connection.
Laughter is truly the best medicine.
Yeah.
Especially in relationships.
It really
When you can share those moments of joy and lightheartedness,
Yeah.
it strengthens the bond and helps you navigate the inevitable challenges with a more positive outlook.
It's like building up a reservoir of happy memories to draw upon when times get tough.
Exactly.
Those shared moments of laughter and connection become anchors that help you weather the storms.
Exactly. So to summarize, being with the right person is about feeling respected, admired, safe, supported, understood, and connected. It's about being able to communicate effectively, share similar values, and most importantly, have fun together.
What a fantastic summary. It's like a roadmap for cultivating a fulfilling and lasting relationship.
It is.
And remember, every relationship is unique.
Yeah.
So there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Of course.
But these are some pretty solid indicators that you're on the right track.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that relationships require effort and commitment. Even the healthiest and happiest couples face challenges and disagreements.
Right. For sure.
The difference is when you're with the right person, those challenges become opportunities to grow closer and strengthen the bond rather than driving you apart.
It's about seeing those hurdles as shared experiences that you can tackle together as a team, knowing that you have each other's backs no matter what.
That's the beauty of being with the right person. Those challenges become bonding experiences rather than breaking points.
Right.
And when you have that kind of partnership, it makes the journey all the more rewarding.
So true.
Yeah.
Now, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'd love to shift gears for a moment.
All right.
And bring in another perspective.
Okay.
We've explored the signs of being with the wrong person and the qualities that indicate you might be with the right one.
Right.
But relationships aren't always black and white, are they?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Life is rarely that simple.
Right.
And relationships exist on a spectrum.
Okay.
There's a gray area where things might feel uncertain, where you might be grappling with doubts and questioning whether to stay or go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to acknowledge that sometimes, despite our best efforts, relationships evolve.
Right.
And people grow in different directions. Sometimes the most loving and courageous act is recognizing when it's time to let go.
That's such a powerful point.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the idea of fixing a relationship or holding on to something that's no longer serving either person.
Yeah.
But sometimes the kindest thing we can do for ourselves and our partners is to acknowledge when a chapter has come to a close.
It's like they say, sometimes you have to close one door in order to open another one that leads to a brighter future.
Such a great analogy. And who knows what amazing possibilities might be waiting on the other side of that new door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, as we move into the final part of our deep dive, I want to remind you that you are not alone in this journey.
Yeah, good point.
Relationships are complex.
They are.
And navigating those complexities can be challenging.
It can be.
But there are resources available to support you, whether it's confiding in trusted friends and family, seeking guidance from a therapist, or exploring other forms of support.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Remember, reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Right.
It takes courage to acknowledge when you need support and to seek out those resources.
Right.
And we're here to support you every step of the way.
Now, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed so far. And prepare to dive even deeper in our final segment. So we've explored those red flags, those shining green lights of compatibility, and even acknowledged that sometimes relationships fall somewhere in between.
Yeah.
I think that's where self-reflection becomes even more crucial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like holding up a mirror to the relationship and asking yourself some tough but essential questions.
Right.
Are you truly happy?
Yeah.
Are your needs being met?
Okay.
Are you both growing and evolving together? Or are you feeling stuck?
Those are such important questions to consider.
They are.
And I think it takes a lot of courage to be honest with yourself about the answers.
It does.
Yeah.
Even if they're not what you want to hear.
Right.
But facing those truths with compassion for yourself and your partner is ultimately what will lead you to the best possible outcome.
Yeah.
Whether that's working through challenges to strengthen the relationship or making the difficult decision to move on.
And sometimes making that decision to move on can be the most loving act.
It can.
Both for yourself and your partner. It's about recognizing that holding on to something that no longer serves either of you isn't beneficial in the long run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Staying in a relationship out of obligation, fear, or inertia only leads to more pain and resentment down the line.
Okay.
Sometimes letting go is the catalyst for growth and transformation.
Yeah.
Allowing both individuals to find happiness and fulfillment elsewhere.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into these 7 signs, I just want to say thank you for trusting us to help you navigate this complex and deeply personal topic.
Of course.
I hope this conversation has given you some valuable insights and empowered you to make the best choices for your own happiness.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
From understanding those potential warning signs to recognizing the qualities that contribute to a healthy and fulfilling relationship.
Yeah.
But remember, you are not alone in this journey.
Exactly. Reach out to those you trust for support. And if needed, don't hesitate to seek guidance from a therapist or counselor.
Good point.
They can provide a safe and objective space to explore your feelings and gain clarity on your situation.
We're here to support you every step of the way.
And remember, whether you choose to stay in your current relationship, work through challenges, or embark on a new chapter, the most important thing is to prioritize your own well-being and happiness.
Beautifully said.
And if you have any other questions or topics you'd like us to explore in a future deep dive, please don't hesitate to send them our way.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.